What's going on, board buds? Oh yeah, we back today for a super duper exciting episode. Thank you for joining me today. I'm your host, uh, Jordan Pittman with Exotic Bourbon TV. This is the show where we talk about the dogs that we love and care for dearly and everything that we do with these dogs that we are so passionate about. Today, we got a super outrageous episode. This one right here is going to be through the roof to the moon. It's all the way up there today, y'all. We have some bombs that we've been getting ready to drop. We're going to be taking call-ins. We want to hear from the public in general. We want to hear from the members, everybody that's knowing what's going on. If you don't know, if you haven't been paying attention to everything that's going on within the breed, then you can catch up. We will fill you in. We'll bring you up to speed in a matter of moments. If you don't know what has happened lately, stay tuned because you will soon find out. This week, we're going to be full-fledged, going all the way in to put a end to this NABBA saga because it's done went too far, and I'm tired of discussing it. Frankly, it seems like it's just a constant little something that we have to keep bringing our attention to, and we're gonna put the final straw. We're gonna put the nail in the coffin today. If anybody wants to, we want to hear from all the members that have been calling. This is your opportunity. Before I get on my agenda, we want to hear from what the members have to say. So we're going to open up the floor about this situation that's going on. And if you don't know what happened, I'm going to bring you up to speed real quick. In the last week, we found out that the whole Savage Kingdom Bourbon franchise has been terminated. Their membership was terminated from NABBA. And we're going to discuss that. The reasoning that they call for the termination of the Savage Kingdom Bourbon franchise is because that they are somehow affiliated or have evidence of them being with me. And they say that we're going to go into the whole email evidence, the termination letter. We're going to go point for point. Why they're saying what they're saying. We're going to go into all of the issues that we've been having with NABBA, and we're going to break it down point by point why we have sending out the letters for the IRS, what brought it all to that. We're going to bring the whole NABBA saga to a conclusion today because it's done gone too far, because we are really is impacting the state of the breed with the decisions that we make today will have a lasting impact for the future generations to come. And that's why, really unbelievable. They eliminated not only the Savage Kingdom's original franchise, the Savage Kingdom, the Bourbon's Louisiana franchise, the Savage Kingdom Bourbon Midwest franchise, the Savage Kingdom Florida franchise, all because of the association and affiliation that they supposedly have with me. And if you ever notice that I've never really mentioned any other kennels or breeders or in my request for documents from NABBA. And they're saying that I'm a threat. I don't think I got these allegations, but we're gonna get into it. Before I start to speak on my from my perspective, we're gonna open up the floor for call-ins. And what we y'all heard it. Game time. Here comes this calling in now. Hello, caller.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Pittman.
Thank you for calling. How you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing wonderful. A little peeved on some things that I've been hearing, but otherwise I'm doing phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a few comments, Mr. Pittman, if you don't mind. I'm a bourbon owner, love to breed, and I'm also an attorney. So the things I'm gonna say now is based on the law and based on my love for the dogs.
Okay.
I've been following your show for a long time, just for general education purposes. When I came across the issue that's arisen regarding the NABBA organization, and as I've been following the story unfold, it becomes even more disturbing. The things that I've seen, with the most recent incident being one that just has my blood curdling in terms of removing a successful breeding organization with impeccable record from their group. I think that's untenable.
Right. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. It's untenable. And it's unacceptable because that can occur to anyone at any time. And that's just not the way any corporate entity should operate. Let me just say this, and I won't take up too much of your time, but I think it is important for people to know, and hopefully they're listening to this as well. For one thing, Mr. Clinton, is that they should be aware that corporate officers, when they make statements on behalf of a corporation, those statements are attributable to that corporation. Okay. If they make a statement outside the corporation's authority, then those statements could be held against them personally liable for damages. Why is that important? Well, because from what I saw on Facebook, Ms. Hagler has now made public statements to the public concerning issues regarding someone's termination from this organization. And that could be legally problematic for Ms. Hagler and for NABBA. One of the issues I noticed, Mr. Pittman, was that her Facebook posts and her email that you exposed the previous week also references the NABBA board members, but it does not give their names. According to the law, federal and state law, board members' names are public information for public. You don't have to be a member to have that. It's public information. The fact that they have not been provided is problematic. It's problematic. I only see Ms. Hagler speaking on behalf of the organization. No one knows who the board members are. They've not been disclosed. And if they don't have a board member, they're in serious legal violations for not having a board. Bylaws, right? The bylaws are a legal requirement, and it's also a public record that's supposed to be made available to the entire public upon demand, upon request. That has not also been provided. It's important because actions are being taken to someone's detriment, i.e. removing them from the organization, without knowing whether or not the bylaws authorize that kind of conduct or not. If the bylaws don't authorize that, and Ms. Hagler has done that on her own initiative, she's subject to potential civil liabilities personally for engaging in conduct that could hurt Savage Kingdom's and any other person's kennel's business, i.e. damages. So that's very serious criteria. In terms of the bylaws, any changes, anything involving the bylaws, by law, they have to have board meeting minutes to validate any changes or any rules. They have not provided not the bylaws or the board members, but where are the meeting minutes? Meeting minutes are what determine what's legal in the organization, also not provided. So we're looking at some serious problems here. From what I see, this organization, pursuant to one email that I read, is a registry, quote registry. However, they take membership fees. So it's not just a registry, it's an organization with members. So the question is, do your bylaws have rules regarding membership? If you don't have membership criteria and there's no meeting minutes, then someone's stealing money. It's not authorized to take money from anybody. Let the bylaws state so. And so far, we don't know that. If they're not in there, then somebody's been stealing membership fees for a long time. The final point in terms of legal issues is financial records. Just like board members' identities, minutes, bylaws are all public. Financial records for nonprofits are public information. They are to be made available upon request to anyone requesting those documents. So I've just named 4 items so far that have not been provided. All legal requirements, none of them been provided. They're not a serious organization, and it's a red flag. The red flag in question is, why have they not been provided, right? I've seen emails, I've seen Facebook posts, and I don't see anyone taking the time to simply expose the document that should be available at a push of a NABBA button. What that leads to a logical conclusion, Mr. Pittman, very logical. These documents either don't exist, these board members don't exist, these records don't exist, and they're operating outside the law. And now somebody has been caught with their hand in the proverbial cookie jar, and they're trying to cover their tracks, trying to duck the issue with all these diversionary credibility attacks. Quite frankly, I don't like it. I'm not having it. And either anybody else who loves dogs of any kind, the Borbal in particular, shouldn't have it, because it's a strike on the organization, it's a strike on the breed, it's a strike on the breeders, and it's hurting people's ability to properly move forward with their business. And that is unacceptable. And the next step in this process should be those documents should be turned over immediately, or legal action should be instituted. And quite frankly, I'll be the first to engage some of my legal partners and engage NABBA on a legal forum to provide the documents for disband or turn over leadership to another group of individuals. Mr. Clipper, thank you for your time. Didn't mean to take so much of it, but I do appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you for calling. You don't do it. Listen, for your time and expertise, we are much appreciative. Woo.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. We're going to continue. Woo. Y'all heard that. Some very serious legal implications behind the recent actions, behind NABBA's recent actions. Simple document requests. We can't get them. Why? This is public information. This is information that should be available at the push of a button. Very simple documents, the bylaws. This is why I asked for this information from the very beginning, because we want to determine what is our mission. What are the rules governing the membership? Who is allowed to participate based on what criteria? These are the things that we are asking for. Basic information, because you are a public entity, an official nonprofit organization, where these documents should be available upon request by any person, a member of the public. That's the law. We haven't asked. We wanted, before we can go any further, we wanted to ask of that. It was so difficult pulling teeth. We had to make repeated requests for these documents, and they're supposed to exist as a nonprofit organization. This is why I was calling for the documents, because we're trying to find out the rules of governing this organization, because it's a public entity. That means that a nonprofit organization is to serve the public. It's not like a regular business. It's very different than a sole proprietorship, where you are in business engaged to make money and turn a profit. Nonprofit organization has a responsibility to the public. You're supposed to have board members to keep these checks in balance, but that's not happening. That's the whole premise that we're saying from the very beginning. NABBA is operating outside of the law, as they are supposed to, in accordance with the United States federal laws and the state laws. How can they be trusted? How can we move forward as the sole governing responsible party of the Borbal breed? You're using this organization to turn a profit for yourself, is because we can't seem to come to no other logical conclusion when you have all of this paper trail that you seem to be covering up with the cash transactions. You're talking about 200 to 300 appraisals that you do in a year, all on cash transactions. You're talking about the memberships. So it's not like we don't have an operating budget. We're talking about 60,000 plus in operating capital annually for the NABBA. So you got money there, you got funds there. We're not seeing anything for our funds though. We don't get any quality of service. We're not getting anybody that regular points of contact. We don't get our paperwork in a timely fashion. We don't have any shows, no educational events, opportunities. We're talking about for the last 10 years, the record speaks for itself. If we go back and reflect, look the record reflect, we're looking at all of these different appraisals. We're looking at all of the different the fees that's coming in. We're looking for, we keep getting told next year, when we going to have appraisals course, when is it going to be any educational? The spin. It leads me, we only can draw one logical conclusion, that some type of something is to be hidden. What are you hiding, NABBA? Why can't you produce these documents? Where are your meeting minutes? You said that you have a board. You're calling in the board. And this is the problem with this. And if anybody want to call in, we'll take a few more call-ins closer to the end of the show. But let's recap after this. That was a bomb. That was a big one right there. We raised some very key issues. And they say that this is a way to destroy NABBA. We look at to destroy NABBA. No, we're not looking to destroy NABBA. We actually looking to repair NABBA and rebuild NABBA. We're looking to make NABBA the best organization to represent the breed in a responsible way. We've been asking for these documents for months. This is supposed to be the premier governing body of the borbal breed in North America. We want to know what are we getting for our membership? You asked me about a membership, or what I want to be a member in this, but no, I want to know, what do I get for my membership, the $150 before I decide to become a member or not? And we can't even get these simple questions answered. And the problem with that leads us to believe that there's something being covered up. And if you got something to hide, that is just like with the situation with your phone. If you can't have your phone open and you got something to hide, that leads us to believe something is there that should not be there. Well, what could you possibly be doing? If you only thing that you really do is collect money for appraisals under the guise of naming dogs that are correct and fit the breed standard. You collect the fees, and that's pretty much it. You issue out the paperwork. So what else is there to do? What else is there to hide other than the money? And we can see, obviously, that you're collecting these fees, that you houndishing about the fees. When we show up to an appraisals, you pressing us for late fees and membership fees. And then to come back next year when the dog is older for another appraisal. So we ask, this is sound like a way to generate some money. You were looking for this member application fee, the transfer fee, all of these different fees. We know you're collecting the fees. What are you doing with the proceeds? What are you doing with the proceeds from the fees? What you say that we can't get a show, you keep spinning us and putting this off to next year. So we come to the table when we ask the questions, who is governing and who's in charge? Who can I contact to find out when is this going to be, and can I get it in writing and documented evidence? And there's no response, nobody to talk to, nobody answers our questions. Nobody provides the documents that we requested. Instead, what they do is they shoot back with personal attacks, and they want to make it about me. And they want to make it about what I got going on with the United Borbal Club. And the United Borbal Club is not about tearing down NABBA. It's about alternative, because you told us to go and make our own club. And so that's what we went ahead and did. So guess what I got else coming up? I'm going to show you what else because of the things that you say you did, instead of doing the simple things to do, which would be, we could have put this to rest and move on to the next thing. Instead of just providing those required the documents that I asked for, no, you didn't do that. Instead, you want to attack me and my credibility and what I got going on. And I've been saying this from the beginning. It's not about nothing personal. This is strictly business. This is about the breed. This is about providing a level playing field for all members, where everybody can participate equally and have their have their dogs judged based off of the hard work and effort that they put in. And we're doing this for the future generations. because we see how you practice bias and you prop up the dogs of your friends. And we see that the people that make money get favored results from NABBA. And because of that, we say that's not the best interest of the breed. We want to have a conversation about that. We want to be recognized for our hard work, and we're thinking about the future generations. And it's nothing more than that. What can we do? What can we do to make this breed better? So give me 1 second here while I bring up this email. So we're gonna go over this together. I want everybody to see this because this is the facts right here for the matter. And it's not about me. Like I've been saying this from the giddy up, from the very beginning. It's about justice. If they could do this to Savage Kingdom, one of the most influential Borbal kennels of this time, one of the most viewed Borbals, one of the most influential Borbals. I say that because at this time, he's got one of the highest amount of views for the breed. Nothing more than that. That's just saying that he putting on for the Borbal breed. That's a lot of eyes on this breed. So let's go into this email. If they could do this to them, they could do this to anyone. Since the Ohio venue, we'll cover this too. We can go case by case, point by point. The Ohio venue where Jordan Pittman showed up and attacked me, which is a false. And NABBA with his outrageous and vulgar conduct. Many members have sent me screenshots of the things that have been going on for at least 8 months. We're going to read this together. This letter is to Jason Gibson of Savage Kingdom, Alderman Nathan Johnson of Valhalla Borbals and Savage Kingdom Midwest, Jason Gale, Savage Kingdom Borbals, Louisiana, Ruben and Stephen, which people that I don't know. Jason and Gale, I never even talked to. I saw them on Instagram. Ruben and Stephanie Mora, forgive me if I haven't said that correctly, of Savage Kingdom Borbal, Florida, looked at their dogs on Instagram, and that's all I know of them. Jason, I talked to that man 3 times because of his influence in the breed. I have talked to him 3 times, and just to touch base with him about some ideas that I have. But like I said, and then Alderman Nathan, the same thing. Nothing more than just networking with them. But all of this was to undermine me, which have been going on for 8 months. By having him come to a NABBA event, which is a public place, you put my life, my wife's life, my daughter's life, and everyone in attendance at the venue in danger. What type of slanderous are you? What are you saying? What are you saying by having me? Me? Came near? What did I do? I attacked you? Did you get knocked out? Did you go to the hospital? That I attacked you? That's an attack. Did somebody call the police? Is this a police report where I attacked someone? This is crazy. This is when me first reading this. Jordan Pittman created the United Borbal Club with the help of some people listed above. I created the United Borbal Club on my own. It's not hard to do. I don't need any help with that. Jason, you stated you would create your own registry. People are not happy. It's not just me. I'm speaking for other people. You think that I'm just speaking for myself. It's not me. It's a bunch of people that I represent. Not even Jason. I don't represent Jason. He stated he would create his baby best because it's something is not right. It's not a plot against you because you didn't like what was being stated during the WhatsApp meeting. What you may or may not know is Jordan created the United Bourbon Club under his granddad's name, Everett Durham, who passed away in 2025, April 5th, 25th, 2021, that is listed as the registrant name. A registered organization is Sister Rappy Seafood. I got a letter here somewhere with my business that I registered with the state as the International Dog Registry, and that was many years ago. That's something that I've been doing on my own. Have nothing to do. You're talking about the who is domain information, which has been updated to reflect that I own the website. If you're looking for the owner, you can come talk to me. Which is all this a coincidence? I think yes. At the NABBA meeting, and then Pittman creates the United Bourbon Club, and then goes on at the Ohio venue to post on Twitter and more lies about me and NABBA. What lies did I post about you? I asked for the documents. You said, and I said that you are collecting hundreds of dollars in revenue, all cash transactions at the appraisals, that you're telling people to bring their dogs back. They can get an 80 today, but when it gets older, it can probably get in the 90s. You collecting the hundreds of thousands of dollars in membership dues and in appraisal fees in the last 5 to 10 years, close to $1 million, perhaps. That's not a lie. This is estimate. This type of money that is being collected, and what did we get for our money? Little to nothing, other than a piece of paper. We didn't get any appraisal training courses. We didn't do none of. You didn't do any of the things that you said you was gonna do last year. That's what we speaking about. As simple as that. Have nothing to do. Because besides that, I'm doing my own thing as something totally different, independent. Then NABBA has nothing to do with NABBA. We would hope NABBA will exist under legit terms and operate with integrity under some real moral fiber, but that's not what they do. The problem is that it was posted. The problem with this is that it was posted. NABBA exposed event by Jordan Pittman and Big Texas Bourbons. I was posted on Big Texas Bourbons. I did that. Then another screenshot stating biggest, baddest Bourbons in the United States Bourbon Club. Then I have another state screenshot. Jason, I know that you said you have removed him from your Big Texas group, but the damage was already done. That's why I was removed from the group, because he didn't want that on the group. When you allow him and the Big Texas Bourbons to post this, allowed. I act and move on my own. Nobody allowed. I'm free to do just as you what I want to do on Facebook. I know you were told about Pittman, but you didn't care. Told what about Pittman? That he will expose the truth about you and your club, that you're using it like a mob, or running it like a Ponzi scheme, that you telling people is that they terminated like the mob, but you didn't care. Also, Jason, you have been heard stating that you will set up another registry because you didn't like some of the things proposed by Melinda and others. Who is Melinda? Who is Melinda? And what is Melinda's role in the NABBA? Jason, I guess, didn't like what she was being proposed because who is running NABBA? I don't know. I can't speak for that man. Y'all have to contact him. I wish he was here to speak for himself. During the WhatsApp, you commented you wanted to be an organization. What I'm here to address is every time that my name keeps coming up with this people's termination. If it can happen to them, it can happen to anyone. The comment is that people are not proud to be a part of NABBA. During the WhatsApp, you commented that you wanted NABBA to be an organization that people could be proud of. That sounds like him. The comment is that people are not proud to be a part of NABBA under me. No. take people's words at face value. You commented you wanted NABBA to be an organization that people could be proud to be a part of. You got to take people's words at face value. That does not mean that they are not proud under you. Autumn and Nathan Johnson. See, this is what I'm saying. It's personal, it's the insecurities. This is what is projected into the entire membership, onto the entire membership. Info you sent it to me about Danny Jones. We're going to skip over that because that ain't got nothing to do with me. I should have terminated your membership at that time, but I took you at your word that you were sorry, only to find out that you are in constant communication with Pittman. So it was something else in here about me. Oh, maybe that's something else. But as to clear the air, I was sick. We headed to Texas. I hope you get better. The next morning, I couldn't go no further. I called the doctor, had an appointment Monday, blah, blah. The rumor NABBA didn't have any money. No, we know NABBA got some money. We know NABBA has some money. We got a caller calling in now. Hello, did you want to be on the air? Hello?
Yeah, you there?
Yeah, you got to turn down your TV. How about now? Okay, so we got it now. Yeah, here we go. Y'all got sound now? The mic had went out. We got sound now, though, right?
Yep, I can hear.
Okay, so go ahead and say what you were saying.
Okay, so basically you were breaking down the email, and all I was saying was how much contact did we truly have back and forth? When do we ever talk to each other?
None, and to nothing until afterwards, after all of this had dropped.
Right. So we talked to you. I mean, I'll admit, we talked to you 2 years ago when we first got in the Vorable world. And that is the only conversation that we ever had, ever. Networking, doing anything. We never had any other contact. And then we never talked again until after the video was dropped, after the appraisals were dropped, after the United Vorable Club was already started. But here we're being roped in saying we've been in constant contact with you.
Listen, man, listen. You don't have to explain yourself, family. That ain't a crime. Being in constant contact with me, even if you were in constant contact with me, how is that a crime?
I'm just explaining this to the other, putting it out there to the other members. So basically, it's dictated like who we should be able to talk to. That's not a reason for terminating a membership. And we were in a WhatsApp group, and we had nothing but good intentions for NABBA, such as you're trying to explain, we're trying to better NABBA. You just wanted all the information out there for the public, and it can't be provided. We always had good intentions with NABBA, and we had nothing against NABBA, and that goes for everybody in Savage Kingdom. So that whole email that was put out there, that was all hearsay, and we literally were terminated on a bias. And again, the email was typed. It wasn't signed. It was typed. NABBA board. Well, once again, I've never received an email from anybody, but surely the whole time I've been a NABBA, the whole 2 years, except for after all this came out, all of a sudden I got some pedigree sent to me by somebody else.
Right.
So, and my other thing is, if there was a board, why is the office shut down during an appraisal tour? Why wouldn't those board members step up and run the office and continue to do people's paperwork, so people weren't waiting months for their paperwork, weren't getting answers back on emails, weren't getting phone calls taken care of, just because there's an appraisal tour going on. So, how many, that just goes to show you only hear from one person.
Right. And that's what I said from the beginning. We all know the truth. We all know the truth. We all know that this is only one individual, and we know that it is not a true organization. It is not, but I don't think everybody knew that the law dictated and the law states how about governing as a nonprofit organization and what they can and cannot do. And that's the issues there. Why the reason that there is supposed to be a board is so that things like this don't happen. You understand why there's supposed to be minutes, and there's supposed to be documented members and people that we are supposed to be able to come to with our questions and get these questions answered. You understand? That's why I say it's a fraudulent organization. It's a fraud organization. It's not a true organization. And that's why I've always been against it, because I never saw the true value in the end. But what I have is not about me. It's come to a point where some people want to be involved despite they're not me. They want to be involved. So that's not, and I don't want to block them from participating because of their affiliation with me. That's not fair to them. That's not non-biased and non-discriminatory. That's
another thing about that email. It says coincidence. I think not. Well, what she's referring to literally is when we were part of that WhatsApp group, there was going to be one paid position and everybody else was going to be appraisers and do everything for free. Well, the question was asked, where's all that money going to go then? Well, we were told that the money's for office supplies. That was literally the answer we were given.
Right. That's to who?
By the going to be incoming president.
Yeah, come on now. It's a sham. It's a sham. So that's why, we couldn't get those answers. We announced official. We hyper speeded, took the United Vorable Club and we put it into fast hyperspeed mode to get it ready and to launch it as an alternative organization. And this is because, okay, this was the suggestion that you made. You don't want to cooperate. You don't want to answer no question. If nobody is not happy with NABBA, you can go ahead and step off. Basically, what you told us to do, right? That's what we was told to do. So we want to have an avenue to present our baubles. We want to have a platform. That's all we looking for. That's all we ask for. A fair and non-biased situation. And
so right now today, as breeders, what is our relationship, you and I right now? How much are we involved in the United Bauble Club? Are we members of the United Bauble Club?
We haven't even had official. All we're doing is taking people that's interest. We don't have official membership yet. It's just just beginning.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just like wanting you to put it out. Like, are we members of the United Bauble Club, or are we any part of building the United Bauble Club directly?
Man,
how much affiliation do we have with that, or have we had?
We don't have to explain what, even if that's not a crime though, family. You can be a part of another.
I'm just putting it out there due to the email because that's what we were accused of. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
People want to take hearsay, and there were other things in that email that were hearsay as well that were typed in there because there's nothing to prove any of it. I'm just saying, so for everybody that's members out there, if you basically aren't liked, they could just decide to come together and come up with something and just go ahead and kick you out.
That's the problem right there.
That's the problem with the organization, and that's not the way things should be. That's not how it should work. Nobody's safe if it's like that.
Right. You looking for a problem. And that's what's happening. That's exactly what's happening. That's just like we getting ready to play basketball and we don't set the rules. Is no fouls, or is it fouls, or what we doing? You gotta play. You gotta set the rules. That was my first point. And by just what I'm saying though to you is, we don't have to respond to the allegations of this organization. This is crazy, man. You gotta respond to allegations of your affiliation. You gotta explain yourself. You don't have to do that. That's nothing wrong with. Even if you did, you can be a part of something else, and that's no reason to disqualify you from participating and pay as a paid member. You know what I'm saying? It goes beyond what you got going on this year, because you got generations to come and generations behind you. You understand? And that's what it's a large scale. The scope and magnitude of this thing is huge, because think about all the puppies that you produce and the puppies that produce off of the puppies that you just produced. You're talking about really a lot of dogs. In a very short period of time, your 1, 2, 3 dogs produce hundreds of dogs. You see what I'm saying?
So even after the United Bauble Club was starting to come about, we had nothing but support for NABBA, and we still did up until the very end. So, hey, I still don't have any ill will, because, I'm not going to hold a grudge and all that stuff. I'm just going to move along about my business, and we're going to breed our dogs, and we're still going to produce the best of the best. And, if people like our product, they're going to buy it. It doesn't matter. The registry don't sell your dogs. You sell your product, And if a registry don't have members, there is no registry.
Right. And that's why we calling for them to disband. And see, because of the bigger picture is, I like how you related it to your business. Your business going to steamroll and keep going on, just like mine. You stand on your own. You strong enough to do that. My issue is not about us, me, or you, or I, because we clearly are big enough to be and mighty enough to stand on our own without them. But it's the little guy. You got to remember, one just injustice of one lead to the suffering of many. Okay, so we can, because if it happened to you, it can happen to somebody that might not be able to stand the blow, and they could be invested in love with their dogs, right? And
that's what I agree with. There's people out there, that are members that are smaller. They have 1 or 2 dogs. They aren't in the up and up with all the social media is hard or anything else. They breed their couple dogs. They produce some puppies. They got to register them through NABBA. And, NABBA just makes that money, but these people really aren't aware of, how it's actually ran. They just have a couple NABBA dogs. They went to the appraisal, got them appraised, they really don't understand the whole process.
Right. It's the conditioning of the mind, right? It's this the conditioning of compliance, right? So they telling you this is what you have to do, this is what you have to do. And to somebody new, it makes sense, right? Because you don't know no alternative. So you go along with what they say. And then only to find out, man, this ain't nothing but a scam. So we telling you up front, this is a scam. This is a fraud. Don't even buy it. Don't fall for the okie doke, right? That's all we doing. Because you don't want to comply, because NABBA doesn't want to comply. You understand? It's a conditioning of the mind. We letting people know, look, this is, you work hard with your dog, you're going to get your recognition. You put in effort, you work hard, you feed your dog the best, it's going to be reflected in the dog, and you're going to get the results. It's going to be the proof of the pudding. And that's what we're going to champion. That's what we're going to celebrate. Purely about the dogs, not because you don't like me, or not because of my personal background, or none of that thing, because that does not matter if you're saying that this is a dog-based, Borbal-based organization. Why are you trying to bring up my personal background? It ain't about me. You want to make it about me tearing something down. I'm trying to build it up. I'm a builder, not a destroyer. And they want to make it like I'm attacking people. That is slanderous. You know what I'm saying? And when you one person, you speaking on behalf of an organization, you are liable for what you say or what you do. When you start affecting people's business, you affecting their bottom line, you could be facing some serious lawsuits and damages. You know what I'm saying? And y'all got a Savage Kingdom Borbal franchise in in Florida. That's right down there in the home base. You know what? I don't know how we'll talk more about how we're gonna move forward with that too, because we got some options there. We bringing them down. They bringing them to their knees. You got the letter, man. We got to put that letter into effect. You know what I'm saying? It's ready. It's ready to rock and roll. We could add the information in there about the money, and then I can edit a little paragraph real quick and put that information in there about the membership and about the money. And let's lock and load. Let's start circulating those letters and getting them out there to the IRS, because they haven't been doing that. I ain't never been the type of guy that this will be the first time in my life I ever did something like this and call it what you want. But guess what? My criminal past is a thing that it's something of the past. I'm not a criminal. I'm a law-abiding citizen. And this is what we do. We put in police reports. We put in requests with the police, the IRS. You understand? And that's how we moving forward with this, because I ain't got nothing to hide. And hey, listen, I paid my price, I paid my cost, paid my debt to society, and I'm here now. You can't hold nothing that I did in the past. It's not about me. You feel me? So that's what we gonna do. That's what we got going on, and I think that's the strongest play that we can make right now. If they refuse to provide these documents that's reasonable requested, let's go ahead and put it down and make them do it. You know what I'm saying? It's real simple. What you think?
Yeah, I mean, you're hitting it right on the head. It's just this whole thing was more about trying to make NABBA better. It wasn't ever about tearing NABBA down until it came to the point of somehow we got roped into this and were wrongly terminated. And like I said, we're not the type of people to hold grudges, so we're just going to move along and do our thing. Same thing with the Facebook posting and stuff last night. We'd like to be more professional than that most of the time, and I would say we were professional. We're just not going to, we as in Savage Kingdom Midwest, we're not going to stand by and have things twisted on the internet and just stand by and let somebody do that whenever we have all the facts. Anybody that wants them, we could show it to them. We did nothing wrong. Nobody did in this whole situation. And if they can literally just up and remove Savage Kingdom, literally just up and remove us on hearsay, like I said, they can do it to anybody. And I don't want to see anybody else be in this situation, because, negative publicity, it doesn't matter. That what was happening yesterday, we just put the word out, we're moving along, and then all the negativity, it doesn't matter even if we're in the right. It's still negative to us. And
yeah.
It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good for the Borbal community.
It's messy.
That negativity in the Borbal community.
It's right. It's messy. We're trying to move forward. We want to look good. We want to shine like what we're supposed to do. And that's what we're trying to do. There's nothing more than that. So, and then they coming in with this slanderous text. you know, saying what y'all did and y'all have been terminated and all of this stuff. I saw that, man. That it was like, wow. And this, but when you were a person that's representing a whole organization, you not only represent the organization, the office, you also represent the membership. And I would just be embarrassed if that was me, you know what I'm saying? And I was standing behind them as a member. And, you know,
and honestly, I mean, that's the top person of the American Bourbon community. I mean, right now.
Right. The only person. It's monopolized. It's being monopolized. We need to have it sorted out. We need to have it sorted out from a legal standpoint. And then the bottom line is that I'm not gonna hold you up on the phone. We're gonna move on because we got other things going on that I would like to discuss. And I appreciate you calling in, family, because I want to break it down how we setting up these new chapters with the United Bourbon Club and preparing for these shows. And that's what it's about, man. Okay.
Man.
Thank you for calling, though. Thank you for calling too. I appreciate you spending. All right. But yeah, so that's what's going on, y'all. Like I said, we ain't about beating the dead horse. They're not gonna comply, but you're not gonna keep on mentioning my name and making it seem like it's just a personal attack on you. It's not. I'm looking for evidence. I'm looking for the facts. I asked for these things. I'm a citizen, and as any public entity can make these requests, you failure to comply. So we move forward with the next steps because you're the one that signed up to operate as a nonprofit organization. And all we asked is that justice. You feel me? Justice. Treat people fairly. Treat the dogs fairly. That's what you signed up to do. That's what you said you were going to do. So, at the end of the day, that's what it's about. What's going on, family? You gotta catch up from the beginning and you gotta run it back. So, listen, I wanted to share with y'all this week some of the dog training that we did. I don't know if you saw it on Instagram or Facebook or if you saw it on any of our other channels, but I want you to see this because this is what we're looking for you to do as leaders and chapter organizers with the new clubs or with the United Bourbon Club chapters, right? So I'm going to play this video for everyone to see. And I want you to take a look. We're going to just try to get ready together because we got real education going on, real training, real preparation. We want to present the bourbon at its peak, at its best, where it's polished up and like a diamond and it's shining when we step out. And we're going to have junior handlers. And every time a bourbon, my goal is every time that a bourbon is presented, that it's professional and it's polished and it's crispy and it's clear and the dog is well behaved and managed. And that's what the club, our role as the United Bourbon Club is doing. And we're not just talking about, we're not just spinning you and telling you, but before I can start to even accept members, I want to have a clear platform, a clear agenda. We want to have a clear structure of what we're trying to do, what we're trying to accomplish. So I'm going to share this with everyone. And if you haven't seen this, you need to look. We can look it up. But check this out. This video here is hold on, I'm gonna share this. This is what we did on Sunday, and this is what we got going on another next Sunday and every Sunday following. Your club doesn't have to meet as often as mine. I don't know how much time that you have, but so here we go. Share screen. Share this with you. This is my YouTube channel. So this is the video here. This. Oh, this is what we look here. You'll also go in the straight line. You'll also go in the straight line. Down and back, in a straight line, circle, that's what we're trying to accomplish with the it's just show etiquette We don't keep the dog under control and properly managed, where it's not running, looking wild, not looking untamed and out of control. We want to show the dogs is civil. And that's what the dog. That's what our role is. That's what we got going on. Here's another. In this situation, we send the dogs with presence. We out in the public atmosphere up at Lloyd's. We got people out there. We in the rain. We still trying to hold the dog's focus. We want to show the dog being attentive. We want to show the dog interested. We want to show the dog confident, with his head up, full of spirit. We want to try to keep that tail engaged. We want to pay attention to your dog. And the only way to get this dog ready for this type of event is through practice and repetition. That's the idea behind it. When we step out together, United Football Club, it's going to look good. It's going to be presented in a professional and a polished manner. And that's what this is all about. Doing the best that we can with the dog. In day and night and day. I appreciate everybody for joining. I wish we didn't have to go over this again. As long as I don't hear anything else about it, I probably won't be saying anything else. We're going to let our actions do the talking. So, anybody else got questions, if they want to say, got something else they want to say, you'll hear that now. If not, we went over it. I got something else that I got to take care of, but I appreciate y'all for spending y'all time with me. Don't forget to drop me a line. Go to the United Bubble Club and sign up, and then we'll go from there. I appreciate y'all for joining. Everybody have a safe, meaningful, and productive rest of the evening, and enjoy y'all weekend. Make the most out of every single day that you got above this earth, because nothing is promised. You might not see another day, so make the most of every minute that you got today.
No rush, go on, move down. Back and forth, push and shove. Make your peace and love turn to peace and gloves. Now you got a deal run up. No rush, go on, move down. Back and forth, push and shove. Make your peace and love turn to peace and now you got a deal run up. Whole gang, whole man, old school, young jam.